Hi, I thought today that I would show you how to make a really cute little album. And well, I'm not going to show you how to make the album. I'm going to talk to you about making the album, but also a picture frame. And the picture frame is made out of the same die that the album is made out of. It's just on a much smaller scale. And my die just crashed to the ground, so I'll have to pick it up. Maybe the cat will get it for me. Nope. Oh, he did try. Okay, so this is the album that I made. As you can see, it's dimensional. I really like this album. It was so cute. I just made it out of a card die. So I'm gonna open it up. And if you see right here, it has a pocket. I'll take the tag out of this side and show you. It has a little pocket. And I used black and kind of a pink and a rose gold. This side has a belly band. You can put whatever you want in there. I just kind of have this tag hanging out for right now. And then on each page I have ovals. Now the oval die that I used was a Nicole Silhouette oval die, but you can just download a picture of an oval from the internet, cut it out and trace it. If you don't have an oval die, it's a very simple thing to do. And then I had some little rose buds and some leaves. And then what I can do is when I get my picture, I can cut it also into a smaller oval and kind of push it up under the leaves, and then I can secure it to the back. The reason that I did the flower on the top and the flower on the bottom was because that way it doesn't take as much room. This album is pretty thick. All right, this is the next set of pages. The paper that I used for this album was a paper pack from Joann's, and it was rose gold, and it had the shiny gold, it had this type of rose gold, it had the glittery rose gold paper, and then it had this really nice textured rose gold paper. I love this paper pad. I just saw it on sale at Joann's for $4 and something cents on their online. So if you want it, get it now, because I don't know if that means they're getting rid of it. It says love. And then here we go at the end. This is a pocket right here. You know, I can slide something down in there if I want to, which of course I would want to, because why would I have made the pocket? And then also each pocket, or each page is a pocket page, and I made tags for each one. And I just, to keep it simple, I just made the tags pretty identical. Oops. Different words, but pretty much the same thing. And then I used pink on the back, black on the front, because I really like pink and black together. And so that's what the tags look like. I used a little bow in the back, glued a little Prima flower, and stuck some of the leaves that I think came with the Prima flower on there. These are Prima roses as well. And then I used some of that seam binding stuff that I got from Stampin' Up. But you could use lace, ribbon, anything you wanted. All right, so that's the mini album. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be making this. This is a picture frame. It makes a really nice little card. If you wanted, you could cut out something here to write your message to your person on, or stamp your message to your person and stick it on the back. But I liked it just like this. And I put little bows at the bottom. On this one, I did do a mistake. I made the flowers at the top on both sides. But you know, it's gonna be standing like this on my friend's shelf or dresser or whatever, so she can deal with it, right? She's a good person. All right, and then once again, this was with the Prima big roses, and then the Prima little ones. And then these butterflies are from just from a punch. So any place that you can get butterflies from, they're good for just the little accents. If you don't have Prima flowers and you don't want to buy Prima flowers, because they are a little bit expensive, I've also made this one. This one I made using Dollar Tree flowers. And I just took my flowers, in this case daffodils. I love daffodils. I cut them off of the stem. When you cut them off, they're going to fall apart into the larger petals and then the bell of the flower. So what I did was I just glued them back together, and then I put a rhinestone in the center to kind of cover up that ugly hole. And then I had some leaves, and I just glued them behind. Now if you want to, you can use leaves that come from the stems of flowers. You can also buy, they have foliage type things for sale at Hobby Lobby if you want to spend that kind of money for it. You can do that as well. But as you see, this is just the same as the other picture frame, but with just different flowers. And I really like it as well because like I said, I really do love the daffodils. The die that I used was this Spellbinders Die. I got this one at Hobby Lobby for $24.99, but you can use your 40% off coupon, and I would recommend that. And this die is S4-989. So very nice die, very, very versatile. If you like to buy dies and you want to have a collection going, then I would recommend this leaf die. This is the leaves that I used for the daffodil. And this will cut and emboss your leaves at the same time in 2 sizes. And I'm sorry for the crinkle of the paper, but let me get a couple leaves out and show you. With this die, I just spritz my paper before I cut it, and then I send it through my little Tim Holtz tiny weeny die cutting machine, and look, it embosses it, and it's so nice. And because I made it a little bit wet, and I do mean a little bit, just a little spritz, the paper dries a little harder, and so the definition is definitely a little better. Puffy, you cannot eat my leaves. All right. So let's get, let me show you the papers that I used. Puffy's gonna be a pain, and I apologize. All right, so because I don't know if you can find that paper pack I used, maybe you can. I think it was a DK, but I'm not sure. This is a paper pack I just got from Crafter's Companion, and it's the gold one. They have silver as well. And it has 3 different types of gold paper. So it has the nice shiny gold that I used for the cover piece. Then it has a matte gold, which would make, really nice ovals. And then it has the glittery gold. And this is really awesome paper. This is the first time that I have ever used the Crafter's Companion luxury cardstock. It's fantastic. Very, very nice. All right, so let's get started here. My little picture frame is going to be approximately 5.5 by 4.5. That's what it measures, 5.5 by 4.5. So I'm going to take my die. Once again, I apologize for the crinkles. I'm going to cut 1 piece of black out of this shape. I'm going to cut 4 of these, 2 for the front and 2 for the back, because I like that real stable, sturdy feeling. And I tend to use 110-pound cardstock, by the way, so mine are really sturdy and stable. But this is your cover and your back cover die. Then I have mine taped together, so I apologize. Oops, excuse me. But then I will take this die and this die, and I will place this die inside, making sure that I like the spacing I have around the edges, tape it in place, and then I'll cut one of these in whichever gold I want to use on my cover. And I'm holding it cattywampus. It's not the die. The die is fine. There we go. I'll cut one of those. Wait. Yes, cut one of these. And I do leave the gold part inside, because when you cut out that one of the black part, you pop it up on foam dots. You put it in there. And then I also cut one of these, And I just, once again, I center it within that piece that I cut the black out of. Oops, making sure that I like the spacing around the sides of it. And then it's very hard to do on camera. And then I also will cut this in the shiny gold as well. And this will actually cut around here, so this center portion will be black. Whereas on this one, the center portion is going to be gold. Excuse me. Yep. Okay. Oh, you know what? I lied to you. I'm sorry. When you cut around there, on this one, I guess I centered this die in there too without this. No, I think I did it all together. I cut it all in one piece. Okay, I'm sorry, I lied. I cut it all in one piece so that I ended up with this piece and this piece. And you can make your book either portrait or landscape. I did mine portrait, not book, but your picture frame. Okay, and then these are the 4 that I cut out of the black. Now, in addition to this, you need to have a piece for your hinge system. And so what I did was I measured, if you look at this paper, what makes it so pretty is it's got these angles at the top and the bottom. And so I measured between the angle pieces, and it came to 4.5 inches. So what I did was I decided on how wide I wanted my spine to be. And in this case, I think I chose 1 inch. Yes. So I made my spine, I decided it was going to be 1 inch wide. And then I also needed to have wings on my spine because these are going to go in between the cover pieces. And you'll see what I mean in a minute. And the wings on the spine, they don't need to be any more than 1/2 inch. Mine are 3/4 of an inch. So what I did was I went to my folding scoreboard. Would you please go away, Puff Puff? And then I just measured down, in this case, 3/4 of an inch and scored. Flipped it over, measured 3/4 of an inch and scored. The reason that I flipped it over to measure 3/4 of an inch was I found on my scoreboard, the measurements aren't always consistent unless I do that. So I do it. Then you score along your lines, and then you have a piece that is shaped like that, kind of like a U. And that's going to be your hinge system. The very first thing that I like to do is glue my pages together, or my covers. So what I will do is I will go get my glue, and I'll do that in a minute off camera, but I will be gluing this piece right here onto this piece right here, and I'll be lining it up so that nothing hangs over, and it will fit like that. Once I have this piece done, I'll go ahead, I'll go to the other side, take it and do exactly the same thing. And when you look on the front side, you will notice that the fold of the hinge, I really don't know how to show you that, but the fold of the hinge will butt up right against the edge of the card, okay? And it'll be that way on this side as well. Once I have this piece on, then I'm going to unfold it and glue these pieces to it, making sure that everything is aligned and that my inside piece does not overlap my fold at all. So I will go get my glue, and I will be back, and then we will do that portion. Hi, well, I'm back. I got my glue. Also changed my clothes because we went outside to the park and had lunch. So I'm going to show you how to put this together. It's very simple. So once again, like I said, this piece measures 4.5 inches long, and it is 2.5 inches wide. And then I came in, I scored 3/4 inch on this side, creased my fold, came in, scored 3/4 inch on this side, creased my fold, so I have a spine type of hinge. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my black card. I decided to put it together a little differently this time. I'm going to go ahead and put my gold on it first. So I see that I didn't poke out all the pieces there. It was just one. So I'm going to take my glue. Hope Puffy doesn't attack while I'm doing this. And I'm just going to add glue to the outside edge because it's thicker. And then I'm going to come around to the margin inside edge, add some glue to that. And I'm not using tons and tons of glue either. One of the drawbacks of using this beautiful shiny paper is that if you get glue on it, it dulls the finish. Then I'm just going to come and line everything up, and it should exactly match my black piece. Shouldn't be any overlap or overhang or anything. And I'm pushing it down. And then if you notice, I do have a few little places where glue's coming out. I know most people don't stress over it. I do. But I'm just taking my pick and I'm just pulling those pieces of glue right off so that when it dries, it's not going to affect anything. If you have a place where it's dried, you can kind of rub your finger on it and you should be successful at getting most of it off. Okay, so I've done that. And then I'm not going to put the fancy piece on yet onto the top of this because it's going to be dimensional. I'm going to put some foam tape under that, but I am going to go ahead and glue this piece on there like that. So once again, making sure that I've poked out all the little pieces. Okay. And now I'm going to take my glue and just run it across. And Puffy may knock the camera off, and if he does, I apologize. I'll pick it up and fix it. Isn't that right, Puffmeister? Okay, and then I'm just putting glue right there. Hi. And once again, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to line this up. And it should be in an exact fit. Press it down. And I'm going to come in with my pick if I can. Is it under you, Puff? Yes, it is. And I'm going to go ahead and just make sure that I get off all the little glue dotties. Okay, and that's what it looks like. Yes, you want to see too? Okay. All right, now that I've done that, I'm going to take my hinge and I'm going to put glue. I'm going to have to move you, bud. You're in the way. On the outside of one of my hinges, just like that. I'm going to put it face down on my work surface. And I'm going to take my front cover, I'm going to line it up and make sure that it does not go over the fold line and press it down. It should be about equal with it. See? And fold it in place. Now I'm going to take one of my back pieces. I'm going to put my glue over the other hinge or flange or whatever you want to call it. Such as that. I'm going to also line this one up very carefully, making sure that nothing goes across anything. And press it down in place. And then as you see, it looks more like a card now. But there's more. So now I'm going to take another one of my black pieces, and I'm going to use this and glue it into the front cover to reinforce it. I didn't do a real great job with this one. I'm going to have to trim some down, I think, but it'll be fine. So I'm going to put my glue on. Nothing more exciting than watching glue dry, huh? Okay, there it is. And I'm going to line it up exactly with my other black piece. Press it down. See, very simple. It didn't go over the fold line. Everything matches up nicely. And then I'm going to do it to the other side, putting my glue once again on that fold and all over the back of it, because I do want it to stick. And it doesn't matter which side you put your glue on. Last time I did it on the black piece. This time I did it on the cover piece. All right, so I'm just going to slip this in here. Make sure it lines up. And press everything into place. And invite Puffy off the table again. Sorry, bud. All right, so now Puffy's gone. And there we have it. And now it's nice and sturdy. So I like the sturdiness of it. All right, so it is easier if I decorate the inside first. So I have cut out, using my Nicole Silhouette oval, 2 picture panels. Okay, and like I said, you don't need to have an oval die to do this. You can just use any oval shape. You can find one off the internet. So I have 2 of these. I'm going to put one on each side. So I'm going to center it. I hope I center it. Once again, try to make sure that all the little pieces are, little hole pieces are picked out of your die. And then I'm just going to put it in place and hope I've centered it properly, and I think I have. And push it down. You can burnish it with your burnishing tool if you like. So there we have that side. Now I'm going to do this side. And you can see that this goes together very quickly, once you have your pieces cut out, and that's what's nice about it. Oops. The only hard part is having to, with this glitter paper, sometimes the dies don't want to cut through it nicely, and so you kind of have to pick at getting that glitter part off. All right. Now I'm going to put my glue on. I'm going to center this the best that I can. And there we go. So this is going to be where I'm going to place my pictures, but I still want to add some embellishment up here. So what I'm going to do, I showed you the leaves that I cut using the embossing one, which I like, but I don't like them for roses, and I do want to use roses on this one. So I have cut a bunch of these leaves. Now, like I said, you can also use, silk flower leaves, just any leaves you have, but if you wanted to know what dye I'm using, Puffy, please. This is the dye I'm using, and it came from AliExpress. It was very inexpensive, a couple dollars. All right, so I am going to do one at the top, one at the bottom. And I'm taking my leaves and kind of putting them up here toward the top. Where I'm going to put glue on this is the edge of this leaf. Oops, sorry, that's what I get for holding it in place. All right, for goodness sake. The edge of this leaf, the edge of that leaf, the tip of that leaf. I'm gonna leave these leaves free, and then same here, tip, 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 and leave these unglued. That way I can, once I've cut my picture out, I can slip it up under those leaves and it'll look just great. Okay, so I'm going to put my glue on my leaves, and I may have to invite Puffy out with a firmer hand. Puffy, don't eat glue. Puffy's still a baby, so you know he has issues. All right, now I'm going to just put my leaves down and kind of hold them and press them in place. Puffy, don't eat that. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this branch. I am going to put a little bit of glue up at the stem here. And go. And then I'm going to, he's offended. You're offended. And then you're offending me. And now I'm going to put this one down. Lay it down. And you can see it looks like this. I will need to hold these in place for a little bit because there is some dimensionality going on because of the thickness of the paper for the oval surface, you know, the glitter paper. All right, so I've done that one. I'm gonna do the bottom of the next one. I'm gonna do it exactly the same way. So I'll have one spray of leaves coming up in this direction and one spray of leaves coming up in that direction. Once again, I'm only going to put glue on the outer edges so that it's not going to obstruct the photo that I'm going to put in here. And I'm going to press and hold. So now we have this. Next, I'll glue this one on. So putting my glue on. I love these little bottles, by the way. You can find them at most scrapbooking stores or on AliExpress. They're absolutely marvelous for glue. And they're not too expensive, so that when they get all messed up, you can throw them away guilt-free. And I'm all about not having guilt. Okay, see? Now I also, on this one, I didn't want to use any silk flowers. I wanted to use roses because it's gonna go for a friend of mine. I did not have any red roses, which was depressing. But what I did was I took my Wink of Stella and I used the glitter red, and then I just painted a bunch of white roses that I had red, and I think they came out well. And then, no, you cannot have any. And then to have rosebuds match, I took my white rosebuds that I also had and I painted them with the Wink of Stella. So if you like, Puffy, no. If you like, you can curl the ends of the roses, but you don't have to. I don't feel like doing it. So what I'm gonna do is just snip off the wire. And you can buy these roses at Michael's. I've seen them at Michael's in little packages. All right, so I'm just gonna snip off the wire. And then I generally put my roses right at the center to cover up where the stems are overlapping. So I'm gonna do that now. And put a decent dollop of glue because I don't want anything to fall apart. Just kind of press it in place. That kind of gives you the look I'm going for. Now I'm going to take, let's see how many of these goodies I have. I don't think I made enough. I think I may have to make some more. So I think I'm just gonna take 2 of these little rosebuds, and I'm going to cut the stems so they're approximately that long. It's just whatever you like, whatever you think looks good. And then I'm going to just kind of lay them. I may even shorten these because I don't like them, they're too long. I kind of lay them up under the rose because I want them to come down on this bow that I have going on. So something like that, and I'll put little dots of glue under the rose buds, and Puffy really wants my roses, so I don't know how well this is going to work out. All right, so I'm going to put glue on the buds, and then I'm just simply going to place them where I want them. I'm going to put glue on this bud. And like I said, I'm kind of sticking the wire up underneath the rose a little bit. There. And I need to hold these in place until they dry. Well, not until they dry, but until they get sticky and stuck. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing on this side. And you notice I didn't measure because I'm that person that just doesn't like to measure. So I just kind of guesstimate. Sometimes things work out really well, sometimes not so well. All right, and then I'm just going to do the same thing. Put some glue on the back of the rosebud. Stick the wire under the petal. Glue the bud down. And then the same on the last one. Now when I'm gluing these down, I am trying to get them to stick to the leaves below so that the leaves will still lift up underneath. There. That looks kind of cute. Gonna do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to put a dollop of glue down where my stems meet. Put on my flower, hold it in place a little bit. Someone is trying so hard to come up here and get everything. He's on my lap now. Okay, I'm gonna cut those. Oops. I'm gonna cut them down a little bit more. You just kind of have to audition them to the size you want. And then I'm also going to cut the other side since I've got them all. Might as well do them all at the same time, right? So this time they'll match, we hope, somewhat. All right, and I'm going to put glue on my rosebud, and I'm just going to kind of stick the end of my rosebud underneath my rose. Actually, I think I could have cut it down some more, but that's okay, because only God makes a perfect rose. And I'm kind of liking that. I'm going to do that to the other side. I'm going to, oh dear, glue my, that was Puffy, sorry, he jumped up on the table, got caught in the tablecloth. I'm going to glue this rose down. I'm going to kind of push it up a little bit underneath the petals of the big rose. Once again, gluing to the leaves so that they'll still be able to lift up. There won't be anything in their way. Putting the second rose in place and gluing it also on the stem. So this is what we have so far. And I think that's actually really rather pretty. Now, if I want to, and I do, I want to, I can put some filler flowers in there, and I have these embellishments made by the Paper Studio, and I got these at Hobby Lobby. They were relatively inexpensive. So I'm going to use some of these. I'm not going to use a whole lot. I'm going to use maybe 3 to 5 per side. I kind of like the odd number look. So I'm just going to audition my flowers and see where I want them. Puffy. I'm thinking something like this. I know you can't see it very well, but just kind of to fill in the blank spaces, I'm going to use that. And then I'm going to put another one somewhere else. I'm not quite sure where I'm going to offset it yet. Gluing them onto the leaves or onto a part of the picture, I guess, where, well, not picture, but a part of the frame where the picture isn't going to obstruct anything or, you know, get in the way. It won't be in the way of the picture. So that's what I have. And I think I'll just take another one of these and put it in the corner here, just for fun. Just for kicks and giggles. And that's what it looks like. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. The nice thing about these flowers is you get both glitter flowers and non-glittered flowers in the pack. And I kind of like that. I like mixing them because I like a little bit of glitter and not tons of glitter, but there. And with this one, I think I'll just do an extra flower on a leaf. I like that. Now, if I really want to get fancy, and Sir Puffs a lot will get out of my way. Nope, I have them over here. I have cut out a ton of little butterflies. I think I used a butterfly punch for these. I had an old Martha Stewart one, but you could use whatever you have. And I don't think I'm going to take the glitter ones. I think I'm going to look for some matte ones and hope that I have some gold matte butterflies. And I may not. Well, I could use my rose gold. No, you go away. So I'm just going to take my rose gold butterflies that I have because they're cute and they'll add a little bit of contrast. And I'm just going to put a couple little butterflies on my paper. Oh, puffy. Okay, excuse the puff. All right, there we go. I've just added 2 butterflies. I don't know how well you're able to see that. I'm not holding it very well. There you go. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing to the other side. And I'm sorry that this is taking me so long, but you know how it goes. Rome wasn't built in a day. All right, so I'll do butterfly in that corner, and I'll just stick on another butterfly. If you have a butterfly punch, the nice thing about having one is that, you know, you can use all the scraps of the paper that you've made your photograph frame from, or album if you're making an album. When I made the album, I did use that folded hinge system. And because she's the lady that has that's got it copyrighted, I can't teach you how to do that, but I could show you how to do that with one of the other dies I have. If you don't know how, just drop me a comment below if you want me to do that. And please subscribe to my channel. I don't get anything for it. I just really like to make these things. See, I think that's kind of pretty. And then I'll just slide the pictures in, maybe secure them with a glue dot. All right, so now I want to do the front of my album. And I lied and said I was going to use foam tape. Let me run and go get some foam tape really quickly so I can do this. I'll be right back. Okay, I've got my foam tape back. And it's actually foam tape I got from Dollar Tree, so it's not expensive. However, if you want to use dimension and you don't have foam tape, all you need to do is stick together a bunch of cardstock and then glue it on the back, and you can use it just like, you know, dimensional tape. So I'm going to take some squares and just put them on the back of my shape. If I wanted my shape to stand up nice and tall, I could put double layers of foam tape, and then it would stand up taller than what it is. I think this is, well, it doesn't really tell how tall it is, but it looks to be about 1/16 of an inch. All right, and 1/16 of an inch is good for me. So now I'm just going to, I've got my foam tape all over the back. Take my little squares off. And I've never had any problem with this sticking. I know some people like to put glue on top of their foam tape so that they get better adhesion, but I've never had a problem with it, so I'm not going to do that. All right, I'm taking my pretty piece and I'm going to line it up right on top of this piece. There we go, just like that. I'm going to open up my little booklet and then just give it a press from the wrong side, just because I want to make sure it's adhered. There, that's what I have so far. Now, had I wanted to make this card frame a tying card frame, what I would have done was put the grosgrain ribbon between the 2 layers of black cardstock, and then I also would have cut another spine so that, you know, I could have covered it. It would have come across here, but I didn't do that because I didn't want to. All right, so now I'm going to take my leaves once again, and I don't know if you can see it, but when I cut out this piece of paper, there's an itty bitty little flaw right there, a little tiny piece of white that shows. That's not an issue for me because my leaf is going to cover it. I'm just going to position my leaf right there. It'll go right over it. I'm going to put glue on all my leaf because I don't want any part of it unstuck. And then I'm going to pop it in place and give it a little press. Oops. Here we go. And you kind of need to angle your leaf a little bit. It's right there. Now I'm going to put one more because I want it to go up. Here we are. So I'm going to angle this leaf so that it mimics the one below and glue it on right there. So I'm going to put glue all over the back of my leaves. And I may have to just hold it in place for a second or two to get it to adhere properly. There. Just like that. And then my icky part of the paper is all covered up. No one will know it's there except those of you that watch this video. Okay, so now I'm going to add some more roses onto here. And I like to, you know, like I said, I like to do things in odd numbers. If you wanted to, you could wire your roses together. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to cut the wires off at the stems, at the base of the, actually at the base of the calyx. And then I'm just going to arrange them in a pattern that I find pleasing to me. But I always put one where the stems come together because I just think it's ugly. And then I try to go out, yeah, in a curve in that direction and then in that direction. I will be using some of the white filler flowers on this because These roses aren't as big as the other roses that I used for the other, well, for the other picture frame and album. So see, I have my 3 roses like that. I think that's really pretty. Then I hope I have 6, yes I do, 6 of these tiny rosebuds left. I'm going to have 3 at each end. And I'm going to have to cut these down pretty small. So I'm thinking I would like them to look like that at the end. So I'm just going to, oops, oh goodness, cut them down. I think like the biggest stem's only going to be maybe around an inch or so. See, they're really quite small. And then I'm going to put my glue on the back of my bud. And I'm going to have my bud, oops, I got glue all over me too. I'm going to stick the wire kind of underneath the flower. Get it into a length that I find pleasing. And then I'm just going to position my other flowers, putting the glue on the back of the buds. I'm sorry I'm not a better YouTube filmer. I wish I was. Carol Duval, you don't have to worry about me. I'm not coming after your job. It's too hard. Okay. And then I'm going to stick this one down here. There. And as you see, I have the 3 rosebuds coming up that way. I'm going to do the same thing for the bottom. Take my 3 buds, oh dear. Well, guess what, folks? I'm not going to do 3 buds. I'm going to do 2 at the bottom. Because it looks like a last one. And that's fine too, because it'll still be pretty. All right, so I'm going to take my 2 buds, cut off the wires, made them quite small. And then I'm just going to put glue on the back of my bud. And I'm actually putting it on the flower, not on the wire. If you put it on the wire, it spills out over the wire and it doesn't look nice. Okay, so I put my first bud there. Now I'm taking my tinier, shorter bud, glue on the back of the flower portion, and then sticking the wire underneath that flower. I stick the wire under the flower for 2 reasons. A, I want to hide the ends of the wire. And then B, I want to have the glue, because I did a really hefty dollop of glue. So I want to have that dollop of glue that's under the flower holding that in place. There. I think that is really lovely. Then if I wanted to, and I'm not sure I really necessarily want to, but I can add a few of the white flowers in there. I think that's kind of pretty. I think I will add a few of the white flowers in there. Yep. Okay, so I'll just put a dollop of glue, shove a flower, dollop of glue, shove a flower on it, dollop of glue, flower. I think I'm going to come off onto the lower deck of the card and put one there. And then I might just put one right out here. I love flowers. If anybody knows a easy way to arrange them so they look good, let me know, because I'm always struggling with my arrangements, but there I go. And then I also want to have a little butterfly, because I did on the other, on the inside. So I'm going to use maybe this rose gold. No, I'm not going to use the rose gold butterfly. I'm going to use, I have a glitter gold one here, because the inside is glitter gold. So I think I'm going to glue that one right there. And then I'm going to take a smaller gold butterfly, just plain gold. Oh, if I have one. Yes, no, maybe so. Nope, that's rose gold. When you cut out your butterflies, you might not want to mix your colors the way I did, if you have a specific color in mind. Well, I can't find any plain gold ones, so I think I may have some in here. Or I may have used them all because I really like the plain gold. I like the rose gold really well too, but I think I had a lot more scrap of the rose gold that I was able to, oh, here we go. Nope, that's rose gold. Well, normally what I would do on the bigger butterfly, I would put a littler one right in the center of it, but on this I may just put some pearls or some bling on it. But here you have it. You have your picture frame. And who wouldn't like to receive that in the mail, you know? Just get a little box to ship it in. You could make your own if you wanted, if you were that brave. And then send a template. The way that I make my picture templates is I take my oval. It has stitching. I don't know if you can see that, but right around the eyelet lace edge, it has a stitching line. And what I do is I just cut a little bit smaller than the inside of that line and call that a template, and then glue it on. And so the picture will cover most of the gold, but you'll have this pretty lace edge peeking out. Or if you have nesting dies, you know, you could go down to the next smaller size and use that for your picture. I'll also maybe put a little bit of bling in the center of each butterfly. Actually, I think maybe a tiny, tiny pearl would be prettiest. All right, there you have it. I hope you like this project. Please comment below, because I would really like to know what type of things that you use your dies for that are maybe uncommon, I don't know, or interesting or fun. Let me know if you liked this tutorial, what you hated about it. I need to know that too, because I like to make them and I want to improve them. Have a good day. Bye-bye.